place later that afternoon, I headed for the nice and public library, where I figured I'd be able to examine the maps in safety. By placing the 3 maps exactly one over the other, I saw that the bonds were hidden on the larger of 2 squares of land called Twin Islands, which were the personal property of the late Bernice Mayhew Shaw, and located in Indian Lake in the San Bernardino Mountains. As I left the library with the 3 maps in my pocket, I felt like a well-fed mallard on the opening day of hunting season. And then I knew I was being followed. As I slipped into a doorway and turned, I saw it was the nasty little man with the scar. All right, you, we're through playing tag.
Oh, let me go. Ooh.
Not yet, Shorty. Not until you talk loud and clear.
No, don't hit me, please. Please let me down. I'll talk. I'll tell you everything.
All right. If you're sure you can get it all straight the first time, there. Now the whole story, beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah, like you say, whole story. Okay. Starts like this.
Oh! By the time I figured out that it had been the sawed-off end of a broomstick that had slammed my stomach up against my backbone, the little man was out of sight. Another 5 minutes went by before I quit calling myself sucker and I started to think straight. Nearest pub depot in Cahuenga. I went up there and deposited 2/3 of the map for safekeeping until we were ready to leave for Indian Lake. And I found a telephone, and a half a dozen calls later I knew that a caretaker named Jumbo was the sole inhabitant of Twin Islands, and my last call was to him. I wanted some kind of a welcoming committee ready for us. When I left the phone booth, it was only 1 o'clock. So I returned to my apartment where I figured I'd rest until 3, when we were all to meet at Shields' place. But that was my second mistake. Because the moment I closed my apartment door, I was positive I wasn't going to get much rest. I had an unannounced visitor.
Yeah, you look surprised, Mr. Marlowe.
I am. I didn't recognize you at first without your broomstick.
Yeah, I traded that in on this .22 target pistol here. It's more expensive, but it's better. Makes me as big as you are. Maybe bigger.
Yeah, but how much does it do for your personality?
Quite a bit. Gives me poise, and poise gives me manners. So in asking for that map in your pocket, I'll even say please. Come on, Marlowe, I won't say please twice.
No, I don't think you would. Here.
Thank you. Now, before I go, one more thing. The hall outside here is straight and narrow, right to the stairs, and that makes it fine for shooting. So after I step out, don't do anything rash. For a while.
So, loving life as I do, I didn't do anything rash for a while. In fact, I could have whipped up a nice 7-minute frosting before I moved at all. Then I phoned the 3 heirs to get together at my apartment. And when I finally had them all seated in front of me, I related the saga of the little man, including my premonition that one of the 3 present was signing his paychecks. Of course, I got nothing but Cupid doll innocence out of any of them. So after adding that we'd get underway just as soon as the missing 1/3 of the map was returned to me, I threw my trench coat over my arm and told them I was going for a walk. But before leaving them, I reminded them that whoever was behind the little man could fire him, because I would never have kept all 3 maps in one place anyway, unless all of the heirs were on hand to watch one another. And then I left. I hadn't walked more than a half a block up Franklin when I stopped at the sound of Barbara running after me.
Phil, I'm scared. Harlan and Shields are acting like a couple of wild men, calling each other every name under the sun.
What'd you expect? Chit-chat about the weather? Now quit acting like a bobby soxer within squealing distance of Sinatra and try a cigarette. It'll calm your...
Well, what is it, Phil? Why are you smiling like that? What's wrong?
Nothing's wrong, Barbara, nothing. It's just that I found this in the pocket of my trench coat when I went for my cigarettes.
It's the map.
That's right. The missing 3rd. It's back already. When that missing 3rd part of the map turned up so fast, I figured the heirs had decided to play ball. But I made a mental note to keep my eyes on them anyway. At 3 o'clock, I went to Edward Shields' hillside house in Laurel Canyon for the scheduled meeting. Shields wasn't home yet, but Cousin Harlan was there, admiring the view. Barbara showed up a few minutes later in a convertible, and Shields arrived last by cab. It finally began to look as though we might actually start out all together.
Well, I see we all arrived, safe and sound.
Yeah. Disappointed?
Only by your clumsy attempts at humor, Harlan.
Stop it, boys. Let's get started. Phil, have you looked at the map? Where are we going?
To Indian Lake. It's a 4-hour drive, so if you're all ready, I suggest we get started.
Very well. I'll go up to the garage and get the car.
So Aunt Bernice hid the bonds in a roost at Twin Islands, eh? Well, well, well.
Nobody seemed surprised at the location Aunt Bernice had chosen to hide her bonds. And Harlan, Barbara, and I stood on the front porch watching Shields as he climbed the very steep driveway to his garage in the car. But Barbara got more of my attention than Shields. She made a mighty dreamy picture. And she leaned casually back against the rail of the porch. She wasn't aware that I was watching her. And I suddenly saw her go tense, her eyes filled with fear, and I quickly turned to follow her stare. Shields' car was going at a rapid clip down the steep driveway. I still couldn't figure out Barbara's concern, and then she started screaming.
The car's out of control.
The car was headed for the edge of a cliff.
His brakes are out.
He'll go over. The tree stopped him.
Shields, are you hurt?
No, I'm all right. The brakes, I tried to stop
You
them.
hadn't hit that tree.
You'd have gone over the edge.
Let's have a look at those brakes, Shields. Well, no wonder.
What is it?
Brake line's broken. Every drop of fluid drained out.
I might have been killed.
No might about it, Shields. We stood there for a while, all looking at one another, but nothing was said. Brake lines rarely snap accidentally. And I remembered that Harlan had been at Shields' house early, and the car had been in the garage, and Barbara... Well, I had to admit that she actually had anticipated the car going out of control. Well, the 24 hours for finding the bonds were slipping by, and I knew we had to get to Indian Lake. We held a short powwow without passing the peace pipe, and we decided to take Barbara's car. We picked up the rest of the map, which I'd checked at the bus station, and we shoved off. After a 4-hour drive that was about as relaxing as the thought of an overdue time bomb in a day nursery, we finally pulled up to the shores of Indian Lake. Jumbo, the caretaker, was waiting at the dock. He knew how to handle a boat, and a few minutes later we could see Twin Islands. We headed for the smaller of the two, where I could make out a rambling lodge. The other island, a quarter of a mile away, seemed deserted. Shields was the first one ashore.
Here, Barbara, let me help you.
Run along, boy. I'll help Barbara.
Thanks, Harlan. Well, Marlowe, what now?
Well, first we go up to the house. Oh, Jumbo, you got everything ready for us? Hey, Jumbo.
Huh? Oh, sure. Everything's ready, Mr. Marlowe. Just like you said, I opened 4 of the upstairs rooms.
Open the rooms? We're not going to sleep out here, are we?
I'm gonna try.
But this isn't a vacation. We're here to find the bonds and get out. You realize it's almost 9 already?
That leaves us just 15 hours, Marlowe.
Yeah, I know. I got a good watch, and I count to 24, and I'm also giving orders to you
Don't
three.
get high-handed, Marlowe. You're an employee of ours, and that's all. Let's get the map together and start looking for those bonds right now.
Take it easy, big man. The bonds are hidden on the other island. The map is as tangled as a second-hand spider web. We wouldn't get anything at all done in the dark.
That's your opinion.
Look,
and
you people hired me to help you find those bonds. If I have to get nasty to make you take orders, I can do that, too. Now, let's play like we're smart and go up to the lodge and relax.
All right, Marlowe. But remember, we'd better have those bonds by tomorrow, or someone else will be nasty. Very nasty. And I mean me.
What? You too? Getting the 3 heirs settled down at dinner table was quite a chore. And when I was sure they'd keep an eye on each other, I slipped outside. I hid 1/3 of the map in a drain pipe. Then I went upstairs to my room, and I hid another third in the window shade. Well, the maps were settled, and I began to think about other things, like the accident to Shields' car. There were too many accidents and coincidences to suit me. So I decided to drop in on Cousin Harlan's room to see what I could see. Well, after 15 fruitless minutes, I was about to leave when something in the wastebasket caught my eye. The corner of a half-hidden handkerchief monogrammed H.C. I had just picked it up when I saw Jumbo standing in the open door.
That handkerchief there in your hand. That blood on it?
No, it looks more like brake fluid. And in this case, it's practically the same thing, huh? I think we'll leave it right here in the wastebasket, Jumbo. Oh, did you want something?
Just wanted to say I'll be in my own place out back if you want me.
Okay. You know where Mr. Shields is?
He's out in the veranda.
Alone?
Yeah?
Thanks, Jumbo. If I need anything, I'll call you. Good night. Shields.
Oh, it's you, Marlowe. What's wrong?
You sound like a man expecting trouble.
I was nearly killed in my car this afternoon, and I don't think that was the end of it.
Yeah, and don't stand too close to high windows.
Thank you. It's comforting to know that I am not alone in my suspicions.
Maybe, how are you betting? On the beauty or the beast?
Don't be absurd. I hope someday to marry Barbara.
Yeah? Well, a guy might be beating your time right now with a sculptor's mallet.
You may be naive, Mr. Marlowe, but Barbara isn't. I saw them just a moment ago walking down to the boathouse. Harlan's galloping after her like a half-baked idiot, as usual. But if Miss Haynes prefers me, what can he do about it?
There was an answer for that, but it seemed a little obvious under the circumstances. Well, a few minutes later, Shields went inside, and I made a beeline for the boathouse to water down a certain hot-headed sculptor named Harlan. When I got within earshot, I knew I'd be as welcome as whooping cough at a glassblower's convention. So I stopped and listened.
Barbara, darling, I'm falling in love with you. You know that, don't you? Let me hold you close.
Harlan, Oh, Harlan.
This is real, Barbara. For the first time in my life, I'm truly in love. I want to do things for you, make you happy.
Please wait. I'm not completely free. There are still ties with Edward, you know.
Shields. That fat, stingy Babbitt. He's no man for you. Why, if he so much as touches you from now on... Wait a minute, Barbara. Marlowe, you cheap, snooping eavesdropper.
Eavesdropping's a minor vice compared to some of the shenanigans going on around here.
Just what do you mean by that?
A word to the wise is sufficient. You, I'll give a few more. Now, somebody's trying to cut our little triangle down to two sides before noon tomorrow. What I've seen so far I don't like, so I'm warning everybody.
Just what are you accusing me of? Why,
Harlan, stop it. Don't be a fool. Will you cavemen control yourselves until those bonds are found? Come on, Harlan, let's go in. Good night, Marlowe. Don't get your head caught in any transoms.
Deciding sleep wouldn't be very healthy for a man in my position, I decided to sit up that night. It was about 2 o'clock when I looked out the window and saw something mighty interesting. A light was moving on the other island opposite us. I got hold of Jumbo, and we went over there as fast as we could.
There we're beach. That light's dead ahead, Mr. Marlowe. Looks to me like it's up on the picnic shelter.
Yeah, I'll see you later, Jumbo.
Who's there?
Guess who?
Oh, Marlowe. I didn't hear you come up. The wind's too strong, I guess. I'm glad to see you. It's spooky here all alone.
Oh, sure. What's the idea? Decide to do a little freelance prospecting?
Yeah, that's right. Bernice Mayhew loved this spot, and I had a hunch she hid the bonds here in the base of this table. Oh, I guess I was wrong. Oh, come on, Marlowe, limber up. You can't blame me for trying.
Listen, beautiful, don't flap your eyelashes at me. I can't see anything but double crosses right now. All right, if you've had your fun, let's go back to the lodge,
Don't
huh?
be that way, Phil. Phil, the sun will be coming up in 2 or 3 hours. Why not wait for it here with me?
Barbara, baby, don't burn up too many calories with that routine. Because I only keep 1/3 of the map on me.
You think you're so smart.
Bright ideas hatch in that cute little brain of yours, too. Now let's... Oh, comes the gun with a pearl handle, no less.
Stay away from me, Marlowe. Over there.
Hey, what's going on here, anyway?
Jumbo!
Look out, Jumbo! Jumbo stepped into the light and Barbara turned. I made a swipe at her gun hand that knocked pistol, purse, and lamp all over the picnic shelter. I found the gun and gave it to Jumbo. Then I started to pick up an assortment of knickknacks that had spilled out of her purse. But I never finished, because one of the items made my eyes pop. It was the monogrammed handkerchief covered with brake fluid that I'd found in Harlan's room. It all made sense now. It tied up everything that I'd suspected right along. Only 2 of my trio had planned to split up the $300,000 worth of bonds from the first. As I ran for the motor launch, I yelled at Jumbo to bring Barbara over in the rowboat. All the way back, I had the panicky feeling that I was probably too late. But when I sneaked in the front door of the lodge, there were still 2 voices. and they came from the open kitchen door. With my hand on my gun, I edged along the wall and peeked in.
Shields, you're a fool.
Perhaps. But I'm going to kill you and have a perfect case of self-defense.
What are you talking about?
Your hopelessly framed cousin, Harlan. I ruined the brakes on my own car. I planted your handkerchief, stained with brake fluid, in your room. Marlowe found it. He's convinced that you tried to kill me. He's also convinced that he was brought into this whole thing by coincidence. He doesn't know that he was deliberately involved in our search for the bonds, just so he'd make a reputable witness.
You're out of your mind.
Not at all. I'm going to kill you and say it was self-defense. Marlowe will testify that you tried to kill me before.
What Marlowe's going to do is blow your head off if you don't drop that gun, Shields.
Marlowe.
Yeah, Marlowe. Who knows he wasn't brought into this thing by coincidence, but who stuck around to see the fireworks and who almost saw them just now.
Bill, what's happened?
Barbara, couldn't you hold Marlowe on the other island? You
Shut up, Shields! Barbara's little mistake was that she should have gotten rid of Holland's handkerchief after she took it out of his room so he wouldn't see it.
Barbara, I don't understand. You planned all this with Shields against me?
Well, I did in the beginning, Harlan, but I changed my mind when I fell in love with you. I let Marlowe find the handkerchief in my purse. I wanted him to stop Edward. Oh, darling, don't you see...
Come on, Miss Bankhead. Cut the dramatics. The show's over. Let's have it straight, huh?
All right. We might as well if we're going to find those bonds before it's too late. Edward and I did plan it. We even hired the little man who tried to get the maps from you.
And when that didn't work, you planned to get rid of Holland and split the $300,000.
So we failed. So what? We're right back where we started. 100,000 apiece. Now let's go find those bonds.
Not so fast, beautiful. What happened to Holland just now was a little more serious than a hot foot. It was attempted murder. He can slap you two in the jug this minute if he wants to. But I'll leave it up to him. Okay, Holland, what do you say? It's your move.
No. I've got a better idea. Marlowe, 1/3 of that map is mine. Give it to me.
Okay. There it is.
Harlan, what are you going to do?
Harlan, no. Don't burn it.
There. Now we all lose. Now none of us will get the bonds. That's probably how Aunt Bernice wanted it anyway.
It was almost noon. I was standing on the veranda of the lodge, and a scrawny old crow was perched up on the roof. I saw Barbara and Shields quietly pull away in a boat with Jumbo. And I saw Holland lumbering off to the far end of the island to sulk. And as I watched the three of them, I couldn't help thinking. A pig in a pinstriped suit, an ape with a red beard, and an alley cat in nylon. Yeah. Keep laughing, Aunt Bernice. You were right. Greed, treachery, and rashness don't mix, even for 24 hours. And the 1% of the bonds I was to get? Well, that's my contribution to charity. Who knows? Maybe I can take it off my income tax.
The Adventures of Philip Marlowe, created by Raymond Chandler, stars Gerald Moore and is produced and directed by Norman MacDonald. Featured in tonight's story were Mary Shipp, Parley Bear, Don Diamond, Ted Von Eltz, and Wilms Herbert. The special music was conceived and conducted by Richard Orant. Be sure to be with us again next week when Philip Marlowe says...
When I got the crisp $50 bill in advance, I figured my client had a heart of gold. But after I was beat up, double-crossed, and shot at, I realized just how hard a heart of gold could be.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm here. How are we today?
Good morning, everybody. Yo, Bubber. What's up, Bubber?
Yeah. It's Wednesday. Did he say wetness? Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah. So anyway, hi, how are you? It is Wednesday morning. It is 5 a.m. It is the 28th of May. Yeah. It's Wednesday. Bong hits for everyone. Isn't that great? Isn't that just... Doodly man. Doodly man. Doodly man. So what's been going on this last 23 hours here? What's up? What's up? Yeah, I'm kind of... I bamboozled myself. There we go. There we have it. Milo. Anywho, as you can tell, I'm kind of out of it this morning. I should just drink some coffee. Maybe it's because I haven't had any coffee yet. Let me have some coffee. $1975, people. That was the year I met Buzz Aldrin, astronaut. 1975. Yes, I did meet Buzz Aldrin when I was a child. There were some things about my childhood that were neat. Most of it was just despicable, but some of it was pretty neat. You know, I learned how to smoke marijuana at 15. Actually, it was more like 13 when my parents first got me loaded on purpose. Do I hate them for that? No. No. Marijuana is probably one of the best things that happened to me. Mentally, socially, personally. Yeah. Without marijuana, I wouldn't have made it this far. Without marijuana, I definitely would have been dead before 35, which is what I always expected. And it's probably... I hear dogs. Not again, please. They woke me up at 3 o'clock this morning. I went and I took a leak. I got back into bed. And just as I was tucking Sam in next to me, he just jumped up and took off barking out the doggy door. So he got up, he ran out, he started barking frantically, crazy, like there was something going on, and running down the doggy the doggy ramp. They've got a 3-story house in the backyard, and they've got to climb up ramps to get up to the top story to come into the doggy door, just because the back of the mobile home is really high. Anyway, both dogs go out. They go out screaming, and I'm like, that's not normal. There's somebody or something in the backyard. So I run out to the the side door, flip the light on, open the door, and Sam is running around by the gate and takes off back to the. It's like there's something going on. So I look up, and a cat jumps up onto the pool fence and goes into safety mode. And so I'm like, okay, was the cat over here in our yard? And then I look up the street, and there's 2 coyotes sitting there looking at me. Oh, I get it. It was the coyotes that scared the cat into our yard where it's safe. And then our dog scared the cat out of the yard. But luckily the cat is black and knows the park. It knows where to go to be safe. And basically it just has to jump up on the fence to the pool, walk along the fence, and it's up on a roof. And it's always up there. It knows it's safe up there, so yeah, baby. Wednesday. Tomorrow. I can't wait for tomorrow because I get to play with my typewriter. I haven't played with it in a year or more. Probably 2 years. Yeah, I bought it for a few bucks, brought it home, cleaned it up, bought a new ribbon, bought some typing paper, bought the little eraser pencils with the little broom on it. Yeah, I bought everything that I could find that was original and vintage, and I've actually got vintage typing paper. It's very cool. It's got the watermark on it. It's erasable on one side. It's awesome. If anybody's into typewriters, yeah, maybe Tom Hanks will stop by, right? I know he's into typewriters. Not that he and I have anything at all in common whatsoever, except that we were born on the planet Earth, right? And I'm not even sure I was. Well, not born like everyone else, at least. Right? Am I God? Am I God? No way. So, my daughter and I, last night, sat in here on the couch together and binge-watched the last remaining, 3 or 4 episodes of that 80s show on YouTube. Thank you, YouTube. And thank you to the person that, the people that uploaded the episodes. Because what a fun show. It's a bummer that show happened right after that 70s show, because that's what killed it. It was right on the heels of that 70s show, and it just was nothing like that 70s show. Had they given it a little time, a couple of seasons later, they could have pulled it off and said, check it out. Now we're going back to the 8, but no. They're just like, okay, we want our money. We're going to get rid of this show, and we want more money, so we're going to pop this show out. And it was done really well, but the audience just did not. They didn't get it. They were like, well, how come we don't have those other characters? How come we don't get to see them growing up? Because they're all into movies and shit now. They're gone, man. They're over the show. So, yeah, what a bummer. What a bummer that it only lasted 13 freaking episodes. Bonghead. Totally. Good stuff. Good stuff. Pardon-moi. Okay. 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 Thursday. Just looking at my stuff here. Okay, there it is. There's my old-time radio Wednesday. So that when I do this, it's got my logo behind me. Isn't that cool? I'm going to put it up there because I'm going to pull that TV off the wall. I thought I was going to be using it more than I have. So I decided it's going to go in the van. It's going to go in the van, man. And then I'm just going to put some pictures up right there. I'm not sure what. I've got a bunch of photos and frames and stuff that I need to deal with, but I need white frames along with my black frames, and I need to get a bunch of photos printed. So maybe I can do that in the weeks to come. One of the things I have to do soon, I'm going to probably figure after camping, is I have to make a video about the reunion and remind people that it's only 2 months away and that it's still happening. And yeah. So this next week we're going camping. And then the van goes in the shop. Once it goes in the shop, I'm going to start planning the next camping trip, hoping that the van is going to be fixed. I don't know where. It's going to be too hot by then to go to Arizona to the river. It's going to be too crowded and overbooked in Yosemite by then. You have to make your reservations like almost a year in advance for Yosemite. We could try to get lucky and try to get some camping up in the upper campground. I don't know. I'd love to go somewhere new and different. Something where we can drive out in a day, stay for a couple of days, maybe 3 or 4 days, and then come home. Or drive to a spot, stay for a couple of days, drive to another spot, stay for a couple of days, and then come home. That would be neat. That's an awful lot of setting up camp and setting down camp. If I had a tent trailer or some kind of trailer with everything built into it, that would be a lot easier. We could just park, get in the trailer. Bada bing. So let's take a look at the record for the day. The album for the day, the LP for the day is one of my favorites, and it is Bobby Short. Let's go here. It's Bobby Short, all right, The Mad 20s, and it is a really cool album. Great cover, great music. It's like music straight out of the 20s, but it's done in the 70s. This is 1974. Songs include Nagasaki, That's My Weakness Now, The Society, Bear, Don't Bring Lulu, Changes, Tiger Rag. These are all great songs. Sweet So and So, Heebie Jeebies, At the Animals Ball, I'm Bringing a Red, Red Rose, Laugh, Clown, Laugh, and I'm certainly gonna see about that. There we go. So that is the album for the day. Let's see if we can find it. I bet we can. I bet we can find it right here on YouTube. You can find everything on YouTube, right? Tutorial videos on anything. music from anywhere, anytime, any place. So rest in peace, Rick Derringer. And last night, I'm sitting here and I finally figure out who Rick Derringer was, right? And I probably listened to Hang on Sloopy a half dozen times last night. That was an important song back in the 80s, late 70s, early 80s to us. My sister had a friend down the street. For the life of me, I'll never remember her name. She had this friend down the street, and the song, the album that they would listen to, this girl's favorite album, was the Snoopy the Red Baron, right? And it had that song on there. And on the opposite side of this 45, I think it was Hang On Sloopy. Because it was Hang On Snoopy, Snoopy Hang On, right? But it was Sloopy. But if you're a kid, you hear Snoopy. And it was a great way to use one song that had nothing to do with any of it, but understanding children and the fact that it rhymed with Snoopy. It was perfect. I love that song. I'm not really familiar with a lot of Rick Derringer stuff. I know he did some stuff in the 80s. There's one song that keeps hazing through my brain and I can't grab onto it. Shoot. It'll hit me. Hit me. I'm going to pull these off so I don't have to hear myself rambling in my own head. It gets a little bit annoying hearing your voice come just a little bit after you're speaking. I mean, it's just so close that it's annoying. It's not exactly what you're hearing. It's not exactly when you're saying it. So it just becomes annoying. Yeah. Totally, man. Last night we pumped up the new air mattress in the living room here. We vacuumed and threw it out and blew it up and parked it next to the couch, and it's the same height as the couch. My daughter said, well, I would just sleep on the couch and just kind of hang over onto the air mattress. And I said, yeah, but it's all of the changes in stiffness between the couch and the ottoman and the air mattress. I said, I would sleep on the air mattress and just let my feet hang on to because the air mattress is one solid stretch with a cushion and a blanket on the top of it. It's going to be being cozy, right? That's the way I sleep, baby. Yeah, and so we're going to put the little air mattress into the little tent to make it a little bedroom for camping. And then my wife and I are going to put the big air mattress in the big tent to make a big bedroom. Yeah. And I'm getting a little too old to squash down into a little tent and try to get dressed and undressed and something like that. So, yeah, we'll move into the big tent. So I think Wednesday, I think probably tomorrow, we're going to be trying to set up the tents in the park and air them out, clean them up, make sure they're all good to go, everything works on them. Ooh, coffee. Do any repairs. And then pack them into the van. Same thing with the chairs. Clean them all up, pack them into the van. Get that cooler out, pack it into the van. Get ready to finish it off. I don't know. Maybe Joey and I'll put the TV in the van over the weekend. I'm probably gonna need Joey anyway to help me get things dialed in for the camping trip. I'm just so worked lately, you know. I keep telling my wife, man, it's gonna be hard just for me to set up camp, right? I mean, I'm used to being the guy when we go camping. I'm used to being like Johnny on the spot. Everything under control, everything handled. And I just don't feel it lately. I just don't feel it. But I'm still really excited about going camping. So totally excited. For the dogs especially. Just because it's new and different. And we haven't really done anything with them, you know. They're home dogs. Home dogs. You remember when Home Depot used to have a hot dog truck or a little vendor right outside Home Depot? They don't do that anymore. I think some people were getting sick, and the vendors and stuff, they were having trouble with the vendors. I remember the Home Depot that I used to go to in, I think it was Temecula. They had their own hot dog stand. It was the Home Depot employees worked at it. It opened and operated during Home Depot hours, and you could always get a home dog, and that was pretty cool. And it was really nice because a lot of times when you're on a job, you had to go to Home Depot during lunchtime, and you could literally grab a dog, go into Home Depot, eat your dog while you're getting your stuff, check out, and back to work. Yeah. Or at the very least, it's like, I gotta go to Home Depot and get stuff. Who wants to come and get dogs for the guys? Right? Yeah, I'll go. We'll go get orders then. Yeah. Totally cool. Totally cool, man. Alright, we were looking for the Mad 20s. And it was Bobby Short, the Mad 20s. The Mad 20s. Bobby Short. And let's do enter. Bobby Short, the Mad 20s, full album, Nagasaki, oh, come on. I don't want the... Alright, looks like we're going to have to go for a video collection. Guitars and music. 13 videos. Nagasaki, that's my weakness now. Unreleased, the Society Bar. Don't Bring Lulu, Changes, Tiger Rag, Sweet and So. Heebie-jeebies at the Animals Ball, Bringing the Red Rose, Lock Cloud, sort of. That looks like all of them. Let me grab this. Share. Copy. Copy to clipboard. Come over here to the... Come on over here. Come on. Oh, better turn it off. Don't want to be talking to myself again. That'll be weird. But I won't hear it at least. Okay. Let me pop this into the old comments here. Little paste. Reminds me of eating paste in the first grade, right? Paste. Well, actually, we used to make paste in school when I was a kid. We used to actually they'd give us a bunch of stuff, and we'd just mix it up, right, and make paste. I don't remember what it was, cornstarch and some other weird crap, I guess. I don't know. How do you make paste? Let's figure that out for arts and crafts, right? Okay, so there's that, and let me just type in the Mad 20... 1974, right? 1974. It says 75 Rockefeller Center, and I'm like, no. Okay, typing over here. 1974, 74, full album, Bobby Short. And I am going to go see what's up with the dogs, because I think I hear a ruckus. Can you describe the ruckus, sir?
How big was it, sir? What kind of ruckus?
You're gonna get a drink of water, Hang on, Sloopy. Sloopy, hang on. Okay, I'm back. I'm gonna set some things here on my desk. Hi guys. Hi Sam. You wanna come up here, Sam? You wanna come up here? No? Okay. Get some water and go back to bed. Box. My Wednesday box. How I organize. Tomawa. Tomato awa. Anywho, how's it going out there? Oh, coffee's hot again. I got some 8-tracks stacked here that we're going to talk about this morning. In case you're wondering, yes, I did go to this concert with my daughter. It was at the Forum. No, this one here, still at their very best. This one was at the Hollywood Bowl. The one that we saw at their very best was at the Forum a few months before this. One of my daughter's favorite bands, and one of my favorite bands of my daughter's music. Just great fucking music. A lot of the same type of stuff, you know. What is it? Pentatonic chords and stuff. Come here, Sam. Come here. Come here. You have to come. What are you going to do, bud? Stare at me? You going to go back to bed? Go back to bed. Go ahead. Go on. You don't have to stay here. You're not obligated. You're not on payroll. Go back to bed. Go on. Poor little guys. I better put him to bed and help the other one into bed. Or he'll just sit in there and pogo. Come on. Come on, Sam. Come on, buddy. Come on. Mira, come on. Aquí. Mira. Come on. We got a shirt for you. Come on. Come on. Here, come on. We got a shirt and pillow. Come on. Let's go. There you go. There you go. He likes to be covered up. He likes to be on a nice little soft bed and covered up. So you can just see his little flannel down in here. Every once in a while you'll see him move. Well, I'm wow, I'm just kind of pumped up about the camping stuff, and also Video Time Machine. I'm getting to where the Video Time Machine is almost as easy as doing this. It's all in the planning, I guess. So basically I have created files for the episodes, and then I just keep dropping stuff into the files until it has enough video elements to create most of an episode, and then I use other files to draw from to finish it off, depending on how much time I need or what I'm looking for as far as content. Can I find something that has to do with somebody that we're talking about on that particular episode? So it's pretty cool. I love it. I love the Video Time Machine. Let's see, what do I need to do today? I need to throw my shoes and slippers into the wash and get them washed and then out into the sun to dry. Every once in a while you got to do that. And let's see, what else do I need to do? A lot, really. Oh, look, there's camping stuff right there. Shoes. Wash. There we go. TV. Got to do that TV. Camping gear. Clean, organize, and load. That's pretty basic right there. Not much to that. Totally, man. I got my 2 stacks here of 8-track tapes that are actually old-time radio 8-tracks, which is pretty damn cool. When I found somebody who had 8-track tapes of old-time radio shows, these are tapes that my father has records of, okay? When radio was king, my father has a lot of these series on LP. Well, now I have them. So what I might do here is actually grab some of these When Radio Was King LPs, and we can kind of look at those side by side with these. These aren't as informational as, say, the LPs. The LP just has a whole lot more room for information. These 8-tracks, they got one little cover, one little label, and that's it. There's nothing on the back. I mean, there's some great stuff here. There's a couple of repeats. I bought everything the guy had. He's like, okay, well, this is how many I have. And I'm like, okay, sold. Give me them all. Right? Just give me them all. So, he cut me a deal on all of them. I don't know, it was like a buck or something each. But I was like, yeah, just send them all. I need them all. Some of them are repeats. It don't matter. It don't matter. They're all unopened, which is cool. I can find each one of those recordings somewhere else, so I don't have to open them. And then I can part with some of them, because some of them are repeats, duplicates. So we might pick one and listen to it. This one here just simply says suspense. It doesn't give an episode name. It doesn't say how many episodes. It just says 1940s. So that one would be worth opening just to find out what episode is on it, if it was a repeat. And I don't see a repeat of that particular one. So that's like a mystery right there. That is one of those mysteries that may never get answered unless I actually listen to it. Okay. So that door is closed. That dog is in. I got my other little dog here, and he is fast asleep under my flannel on my little chair there. Well, gosh golly. Gosh golly. Yeah, I've just been feeling a little out of sorts lately. My health is just horrible. And, you know, when your health is really, really horrible, you start thinking about your own mortality and that kind of shit. And that just leads to bad thoughts, depression, that kind of shit. So I really try to avoid any deep thought about illness and depression and death. Dun, dun, dun. Just try to keep it light. You know, it's really fun to get up here in the morning and do this. Because I don't really get a lot of sleep before I do this. I only get like 3 or 4 hours good sleep. And I'm kind of still in a dream state when I'm here. Whereas when I get done here and I take one of those long naps during the middle of the day, and then I wake up after about 6 hours of really good sleep during the middle of the day. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I don't have my phone with me. And there's no anticipation of having to wake up and do something. But when I wake up from there, I really feel old. I really feel everything. And yesterday I woke up and I just had to sit on the couch. I mean, usually I'll get up and within 30 or 40 minutes of being awake, I'll be sitting here drinking coffee and smoking bong hits, right? Within 30 or 40 minutes of waking up in the afternoon for my second sleep period, I'll sit on the couch for hours and just sit there. And just sit there. And then at some point I will eat something and then smoke some pot a little bit. But nighttime I don't really. The more often I sit and don't indulge in pain relief, the more I dislike the idea of probable outcomes and my own mortality. So I try not to. I really try to avoid deep thought in that arena. I just don't need it. You know, I just don't need it. I mean, look at my channel. I post a lot of stuff about death and dying and pain and suffering and there's so much on my channel as far as educational films that kind of express where I'm coming from as far as what I know, what I learned, who I am, how I became this guy here. All started way back in the 70s. So watching the stuff on my channel, you get to know me. You get to know kind of why I am who I am and how I am. Yeah. And I'm kind of getting to know me better. I've gotten to know myself better in the last couple of years of doing YouTube than the previous 50 years. Seriously. Seriously. Well, Joey must be still at work, or he came home and went right to bed. And I do not blame him. In fact, I hope he's in bed. I hope he gets some good rest before he comes out here. And if not, I hope he's able to come straight here, because if he can be out here on Thursday sometime, he's got a whole day to stay at a house and relax and sleep. If all he wants to do is just turn on the air conditioner and sleep for a day, then he can do that, which I probably would. I would just check in and just get into bed, have a drink, have something to eat, have a drink, and then just pass the fuck out. And then maybe get up, eat something else, and then go back to sleep again. I used to work some long-ass fucking days in painting and construction and that kind of shit. So, and he works long nights. Damn. I used to do nights, too. I never liked nights. I never liked nights. Having to sleep during the day and never get to see the family. You know, you wake up and you leave. You wake up and they're having dinner and you're taking off to go to work. That always sucked. Yeah. You can't really have a social life. I mean, you can, but you're usually having a social life when you're exhausted or with people that have similar hours, right? Totally, man. Totally, man. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to go through my 8-track tapes here. And I'm going to organize them as to doubles and put them in two piles. The pile of 8 tracks that we'll talk about, and then a pile of doubles. So we got Suspense, and there's only one Suspense. Our Miss Brooks. Let's look through and see if we find any more of Our Miss Brooks. Okay. We got a Pinocchio with Fanny Bryce. Wow. We're going to try to find this one on YouTube, and if not, I will try to find this through my sources. But that sounds like a neat one. Okay, Jack Armstrong, the All-American Boy. Side 1, Jack Armstrong. Side 2, Terry and the Pirates. Are there any more Jack Armstrongs? There's 2 more over here. Are they the same ones? No. That one is the same one. It's in black. It's the same exact one, but one is in black and one is in white. That is interesting. So they are similar, but different. And then this one is Jack Armstrong on side 1, and then Hop Harrigan on side 2. So this is 2 different episodes. And it is M8719. The Best of Amos and Andy. Not one of my favorite shows, Volume 1. But what do you do? Is there any more of The Best of Amos and Andy? Amos and Andy. Oh, there's another Jack Armstrong and Hop Harrigan. 719. So there's 2 that are doubles. Ma Perkins and Hop Harrigan. What do we got here? Ma Perkins and Hop Harrigan. Another one. Ma Perkins and Hop Harrigan. M8725. Another one. Here we go. M8725. Ma Perkins, Hop Harrigan. Oh my goodness. And yet another one. Ma Perkins and Hop Harrigan, M8725. So we have got 4 copies of Ma Perkins and Hop Harrigan. This one here. So that'll go into the into that pile. Here it is. Jack Armstrong, Terry and the Pirates, Jack Armstrong, Hop Harrigan, Ma Perkins and Hop Harrigan. Okay. Who the hell is Hop Harrigan? He was a pilot. He was a World War I pilot, I believe, and then became a barnstormer, right? And then was like a fly-in detective. I don't know. Okay, so those are all copies over there. What do we have? W.C. Fields. W.C. Fields, his Temperance Lecture and Promotions Unlimited 1930s. W.C. Fields. I would imagine on that one it has what is that guy's name? He did the Bickersons. John Bickerson. Oh shit, I can't remember his fucking name. That's unfortunate. Okay, what do we got? Inner Sanctum, Till Death Do Us Part. Till Death Do Us Part, Inner Sanctum. There we go. Let me spin these around. I don't know if you can see them, but there we go. Henry Morgan Show with Arnold Stang. I'm not familiar with Henry Morgan or the Henry Morgan Show. Gunsmoke. Gunsmoke, starring William Conrad. That's great. 710. 726, Dragnet 1940s. 726, Dragnet 1940s. A black one and a white one. There you go. I don't mean to segregate, but we're going to pick one there, one there. And then last we have Gangbusters, 1950s. So these are all the ones that are just singles. And then these are some of the repeats over here. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Yeah. 13 8-track tape, old-time radios. And who'll start the bidding? No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't get rid of these things. My wife's always drag some of that stuff down there and sell it. And I'm like, no. I said I want to enjoy it while I'm alive. I want to have these things. Even if I just know that I have them, that's important to me. I said, I'll be gone and you can sell this shit off. You know, I said, you know what, I'll sell this stuff. If you make me some bags, make me some handmade purses and bags and aprons and that kind of stuff, and I'll help. Then I'll go down and I will sell that, and I will sell some of this other stuff as well. You know, I'll put together a box of 8 tracks that I can part with. And I'll not just do that, but I'll clean them up, make them refurbished and usable, and then put them in little bags and sell them for 10 or 15 bucks a piece, right? Because they'd be like new. Especially something like this. I would say, okay, you want to buy this? Do you want to use it? If you want to use it, let me know, and we will fix it before you take it home. And that just means open it up, put a new splice on it, put a new pad on it, give it a little bit of lube, and it's done. It's yours. There you go. There you go. And because they're already clean, you know, you just open it up, fix it, make sure that it works, drop it into a little bag so it's safe and retains its newness. And there you go, baby. There you go, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Anybody there? Anybody there? Whew. It's a good thing, too, because I'm a little nervous. Oh, I'm going to have to heat that up again here. I got to get my my coffee warmer over here. What I need to do is get a junction box attached to the side of this thing here, so I can plug in my coffee warmer and a few other things, my battery charger, preferably a junction box with a couple of USBs on it too, because I've got things that I charge with just a USB plug, like this pump here that's charged for the small air mattress. So that pump is now charged and ready to go, and now I will drop it back into the air mattress, and bada bing bang boom, baby. That's it. And what's neat about the USB is you don't need a special cord. You don't need a cord hanging off it. You can just use any USB-C or whatever. USB, USB-C. You know, I like it. I like it. And it's chargeable and it's quiet. It even has a little flashlight built into it so you can see what the fuck you're doing. How smart is that? I also got my daughter's little small portable charger, phone charger. And it's a battery pack that charges up your phone when your phone goes dead. It's just a one-shot deal for one phone. The little one that I have, you can charge up to 4 phones off of that thing, depending on how much they need charge. I got a few more things to do in here to kind of straighten up and clean and organize before we have company. Maybe tomorrow, as early as tomorrow. I'm going to have to find out what that schedule is so we can be prepared. But I'm pretty darn excited about it. Pretty darn excited about it. I'm trying to get stuff done here so I don't have too much to do over the weekend as far as, you know, computer stuff. So there you go. There you go.
There you are.
Old Time Radio Wednesday. Yeah, look through my old time radio stuff. I've got them listed. I've got one Old Time Radio Wednesday that's got them all. They get loaded every week, every day. Something gets loaded during the week. So if you just look through chronological order, you know, you see radio show, old educational film, radio show, educational film, and it's just everything's there. So check it out, man. Check it out. You gotta check it out, man. Totally. I'm gonna heat up my coffee real quick, and then we're gonna I don't know, read a little TV guide, maybe listen to a show. I don't know, maybe. So on the subject of enjoying stuff, you know, even if I don't really utilize it, if there's, and this should be known to everybody who comes by the channel, if I'm ever exploring stuff here, and we share stuff, and you're like, ooh, I've been looking for one of those forever. I really, really want that. Shoot me a message, all right? Not everything is for sale, but if you talk to me and You tell me the right story about why you want it. I'm sure we can work something out, right? Like I said, not everything is for sale, but you know, you never know. You could wind up. You could wind up with something special in the mail, right? Or you might be able to talk me into parting with something for the right dollar amount, depending on what it is. In the shows to come, I'm really going to be pulling out all the stops when it comes to exploring my stuff and sharing all of this crap that I have here. Because as I look around the room, I see hundreds of episodes. Literally hundreds of episodes worth of stuff. I'm never going to have enough time to get through everything that I have here. I'm never going to have time to share everything with you. So at some point, it came out. At some point, I may. No, still not visible. At some point, I may start upping the ante a little bit and sharing more and more and more each day, just so we can get through it all, right? I like to be able to put what we're doing in the title of the episode, not the description. The description is already full of crap. Just the title. If I can just drop into the title little, ideas of what we're doing, 8 tracks, and people show up and they're like, "Oh, look, that doofus is talking about that again." That's fine. Subscribe, please subscribe, right? If you don't do anything else, just subscribe. You never have to come by again if you don't want to, but subscribe. Get others to subscribe. That would be nice. I'm at 200 now. If I can get to, I'm at 201. Wow. If I can, that's great. Thank you. If I can get to 250, we're going to do some kind of a weird telethon. And if I can do that, I'm going to be able to get through a lot of stuff. In that description there, I'm going to have to type in everything that we're going to get through, because we're going to need a lot of content. We're going to need a lot to do on that day. Days, depending on how long it goes. If I do a telethon, I'm going to do it over a period of time where I don't have to leave the house for anything. In fact, I'll probably set up a bed here and just live in this living room studio area, and just let it happen, baby. But I will be bringing in boxes and boxes of stuff to go through, stacks of this and piles of that, machine after machine after machine. What I'll probably do is set up a table in front of my desk here, and I will stack up things on a table that goes right across the length of the camera here, and I'll just stack up stuff, bring it over here, put it under the camera, talk about it, and stack it back out there. And then just continue to go on and on. I'll probably get hoarse. I'll probably lose my voice. When I do like a long show, a 3, 4, 5, 6 hour show, and I've done that before, I've gotten to the end of the show and I've been pretty raspy. So, wow, 201. I'm excited about that. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that. That's cool. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. There's a lot to watch on my channel. There's only a few hundred videos of me doing this crap, right? This live stuff. Maybe 300. But there's a lot of old-time radio, and there's a lot of educational films to watch. We got a holiday coming up. The holiday coming up is the 4th of July. And on the 4th of July, I am going to be celebrating America's bicentennial, because next year, on the 4th of July, we will have our, oh man, what did we call it? A Bisahuskin What's Nutsin'? Let me see if I wrote it down on one of my episodes. don't think I did. May 2019, 20. Yeah, I guess that would be it. But I didn't.
I didn't bloody well do it. I didn't write it down.
So there you go. 250. It's like a bicentennial tunnel. It's a weird. I could look it up, but I don't give a shit. So next year we're going to be celebrating America's 250th, and I'll bet we've got nothing planned. Just like there was nothing planned for the Hollywood Sign's 100th birthday. I bet, it's like, nah, there's not enough money to be made off of it, so fuck it. Right? That's sad. That's sad. I mean, the whole reason I met Buzz Aldrin, the astronaut, back in 1975 was because the bicentennial was coming up, and he was opening up this kids' science center in Pasadena, and there was this whole thing, this whole America thing, right? And you'd think, with the current administration being all hell-bent for making America better, right, that they would use propaganda, they would use brainwashing to get it done. And it's like, I mean, do you listen to the guy ramble? Oh my gosh, I don't mean to step on anybody's toes, but I don't like either administration, to be quite honest with you. So if you think that I'm picking on you and picking on your party, well, you're wrong, because I don't like either party. I don't like the two-party system. I don't like where the country's going. I don't like where the country's been. But I certainly don't like where it's going. I don't like pretty much a lot about our government, but they are their own entity, and there's nothing we can do. They're a monster that we cannot stop or control or contain. We've let them get too far. We've given them too much power now that we are powerless to do anything to change them, right? They are in control. Enough said, right? So, oh, my stomach is waking up, huh? So, no, I'm not picking on somebody's administration or, none of it is for me, Well, get out of my country. No. That's the wrong attitude as well. Well, if you don't like it. No. If I don't like it, what I do is I voice my opinion and try to get others to have the same opinion, and then we effect change, right? You don't just tell somebody, well, if you don't like it, you go fuck yourself and move to another country. No, that's not a proper debate, and that's not a strong argument. That is a bully argument. That's all that is. That's somebody who thinks that their way is the only way, and therefore you should shut the fuck up and move to another country. Yeah, I don't understand those people's way of thinking. There's a lot of people in this country who I just cannot fathom an understanding of. They're just too far gone in whatever direction they've been programmed in, right? How dare you say I've been programmed? Well, what do? What is it that you do all day? Most people, even while they're at work, are glued to their fucking phone and the social media and the videos and the bullshit propaganda. Because that's the way the country is. That's the way the world is. And once you give in to that, you become the problem. You become not just a part of the problem. You become the problem. So many people watch videos that your algorithm has designed for you, right? Here's a whole playlist of videos designed just for you to make you, the Karen, feel like you are the cock of the walk, right? You can do whatever, you're my way or the highway. You're the boss, right? Everything should be done the way you. And so now your algorithm is tailoring videos to fit you so that you are bolstered by that. Look at me. Look at these other people. They feel the same way I do, and they get away with it, right? Whereas on the other side, if you're like anti-Karen and you like to watch those anti-Karen videos, well, then you're going to get a lot of that. And you're going to get bolstered as an anti-Karen, right? So it goes both ways. It goes both fucking ways, you know. The best thing to do for yourself and for the rest of the world is turn that fucking thing off. Put it down. Walk away from it. Walk away from the fucking phone. You don't need it. You don't need it in your life. You don't need to be driving down the road looking at your lap. You don't need to be walking through the mall tripping over shit because you're looking at your fucking phone. You know? Stop. Use your phone for a minute. Do what you got to do. Send your text. Look for the instructions, directions. Put that fucking thing back in your pocket and go about your fucking life. Have a life. You have given your life over to this little fucking device, right? Just given yourself over to it. You no longer own your own life. Your life now belongs to this thing, you know. What do I do with my phones? This one is a clock, it's a calendar, it's a phone, it's a camera, and it does GPS. That's what this phone does. This phone over here that I'm looking at right here is my monitor. That's what I watch my show on to make sure that it's coming through my phone on YouTube correctly. And that's it. Before I do my show, I post on Facebook what's going on this morning on my show. When I'm done, I'm pretty much off my phone, except for the occasional checking out a response to something that I've posted. Oh, look, so-and-so said something about a thing that I did. Okay, cool. Bada bing, bang, boom. I don't share reposts. I don't share other people's crap. I share original content that I create or that I find and share. Okay? But I don't just repost stuff. Ooh, this popped up on my feed, so I'm going to send it. I'm going to share it. I'm going to, you know, please, if you're watching this and you're looking at videos, don't share with me. I don't want to watch your videos. I don't want to watch crap. I don't want to watch cute videos and me. Certainly don't want to look at memes. I don't want to watch anything that you didn't create with your own hands or you didn't think up with your own brain. Show me some borrowed content, okay, that you hand selected and turned into a video and share. Show me that. If you do that, I'll watch it. Otherwise, no, I don't want it. Don't share it with me, please. Do not. Loving a person is not the same as loving the crap that they want to fill their fucking time with. No. I don't need it. There's not enough time in one's life to give it over to wasting it on crap, on garbage. Garbage designed to do nothing more than waste your time and control your thoughts. And what is he talking about, controlling my thoughts? Was it mind control? Yeah, it is. It's a form of mind control. When you watch the same bullshit fucking videos over and over and over again, you start to think that it's fucking real, and it ain't. And you start to believe it. And you start to enjoy it. And then pretty soon all you can do is watch these fucking hate videos. I'm totally against hate. But all you do is watch hate videos. That says something. That you're against it, but you're addicted to watching it. You're addicted to seeing hate. You gotta make a change. You need to make a change. You know? Give up the bullshit fucking videos. You know? And if that means not watching me anymore, do that. I'll praise you for it, you know? You don't have to watch videos every fucking day. You don't have to pick up your phone and use it every day. That shit gets right into your fucking brain. Those fucking radio waves, all that cell fucking signal, all of that shit, all right? It disrupts your brain. They know that it disrupts your brain. They use that disruption to program all of this bullshit into you. You know? They know that after so many hours of this shit, your brain is like fucking jello. And you can put it into any kind of fucking mold you want. Because after a while of 3 hours of countless fucking videos, you're going to just watch anything. You're going to believe anything. And you can be taught to believe anything. The worst thing to happen to humanity is those fucking phones. It could have been the best thing. I thought, wow, a way to get us all together on the same page, connecting the whole world, right, through social media. What a fucking awesome thing. It's just turned into a commercial fucking bamboozle, a brainwashing fucking circus, you know, a narcissistic fucking nightmare. It's fucking sad. It literally could have been the best thing to happen to humanity. And smartphones just shows us at our worst. Even the stupid videos of people, those fake videos of people helping people, right? Or those, you know, those fake videos, somebody going up and down escalators and they grab the hat and throw it down. Fake videos like that, that shit doesn't do anybody any good. It's all bullshit fucking programming, you know? I mean, I've tried to watch videos, and it's like I'll turn on and think, oh wow, that's a neat video, and I expect more, and so then I'm swiping, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? This is stupid. None of this stuff is worth my time. Not even the one that I liked was worth my time. So just get rid of it. Just get rid of it all. Once again, if there's something that you see on my show during any of these episodes, and these episodes are going to get more detailed, just let me know. If you see something that you like and you got to have it, I understand. If I need to keep it, you don't get it. But if I can part with it, it's yours. You know, you give me a decent price for it, and you pay for shipping, I'll send it to you. You know, you can't hold on to everything. My TV guides, I don't think my TV guides are for sale. If I have a copy or something that's out of my era, 70s and 80s, then yeah, I'll probably be able to part with it. I've got some from the 90s. My coffee mugs I will not part with. My records I will not part with. My videotapes. 8 tracks I can part with. Not all of them, but there are some 8 tracks that I can part with. I have a lot of doubles. I've got boxes and stacks and drawers of 8 tracks that we haven't even gone through yet. I'm going to set a table here in front of my desk so that when I hit this camera, I'm behind a wall of 8 tracks. Literally, I can literally make a wall of 8 tracks that fills up the screen. It'll be dangerous, but I'll put a solid board there on the table, and I will stack up 8 tracks in like a pyramid or something, and try to color coordinate them so that it looks cool. I've got so many. And I have enough that I could create a wall of 8 tracks right here to fill this camera shot. That would be cool. That would look really awesome. So, forewarned, there's a lot of shit to go through still. A lot. Hundreds and hundreds, over 1,000, maybe over 2,000 records just here to go through. Not to mention thousands in a garage. So, yeah, baby. You know, at some point, we have to go through the garage at a vacation rental where I have stuff stored and the owner has stuff stored. And we're going to need to go through and do a yard sale, a garage sale, and just try to unload as much of that stuff as possible. There's a lot of things over there that I want to keep, like all those records. I haven't gone through all of them. There's a lot of 78s there I haven't even checked out yet. Another stack of video discs. I've got a bunch of pairs of speakers over there, and I don't want to part with those until I know what's what. You know, I mean, if Joey ever moves over to the West Coast here, we're going to hook him up so that he's got a decent pad, you know. He'll get over here with a handful of stuff. But once he gets settled in wherever he's at, Arizona or out here, man, he's going to be hooked up. I'll hook him up, man. He doesn't watch TV or movies and that kind of stuff, right? So that might change a little bit if he hangs around with me a little bit more. Because last time he was here, we watched a good movie, Over the Edge, my favorite movie here. This 1979, great fucking movie. So I won't like say, man, you got to watch more movies and TV and stuff. But I will say on occasion, hey, check this out. This one you gotta check out. Every once in a while, I'll put one on here that I think that ought to be checked out. I like it when you can find social and political and worldly topics in older movies that still ring true today. You know, I love that. I think the last one we did was Capricorn 1. So think about that one. Watch that movie and think about what's been going on lately in your social media news, in your video news stuff. Because there's so much news out there right now that's just garbage. Even if it's coming from a reputable news company, it could just be crap. Because nowadays you don't have the same journalistic integrity that you had back in the 70s and 80s. You know, talk to Dan Rather. He left the fucking news because it just turned into garbage. It turned into entertainment, is what it turned into. And when the news becomes entertainment, it no longer has to ring true. They no longer have to worry about getting the facts right. They can just say whatever the fuck they want. Because they say in the fine print that it's not really news. This is meant for entertainment purposes. Don't get all in a huff because the facts are wrong. You know, that we're spouting off bullshit and we're having, this is commentary, colorful comment. I hate watching news programs with colorful commentary. And what do you think about it, Bill? Well, I'll tell you. Bill's got a high voice. It's sad. It's really sad. Well, there's the trash man. Hi, Sam. Good morning, buddy. If the trash truck or the microwave isn't waking up my wife, I need to wake her up in about 25 minutes. It's Wednesday. She's gonna take off, go help a friend that day, and then I think I'm trying to decide what I should do. Should I take a nap and then get up and do stuff when she's back so that we can do stuff together? Do I try to do stuff while she's gone? I think what I'm going to do this morning is work a little bit on this week's time machine because it is due on Friday. I'm kind of holding off on completion because you never know who's going to pass away in this week, and I hate to miss the opportunity to pay respects to somebody. So this week we're paying respect to Rick Derringer of the McCoys. So I'm hoping that I get away with using the 2 clips that I have, an MTV interview with Rick Derringer in 1982, 83, New Year's, and a video of the McCoys doing the Hang On Sloopy. And it's from a TV show, and it's live with girls screaming, so I'm hoping that it's not going to get a copyright hit, or at the very least I'll get to use it, because my channel is not monetized, so I get to use a lot of copyrighted stuff, provided I don't make any money on it. And I don't make any money on this channel whatsoever. No, this is a money spending channel, not a money making channel. Oh, my dog, my boy. And there goes the trash man. Sheesh. They come this way. What they need to do is they need to do the trash cans, 3 cans, and then they need to back up into the field and pull out that way. Or just back the fucking straight out into the fucking street. I mean, how hard is that, right? But no, they gotta attack this tree here that hangs out, and then they attack this tree over here that hangs out. And I can only trim it back so much, right? And yeah, I mean, what the hell? Every once in a while they break a branch off as they go by. This big tree up here. Bummer, man. Bummer. Anyways. So let's think about reading here from the TV Guide from 1978. We're just about done with this month, and we're going to be moving into June. And I've got a few June hoochama-witches, like this one here. This TV Guide here is May 27th to June 2nd. And I think I have a couple of those that are kind of right on the cusp of the month. So we'll check that out, man. You need to check it out. Yeah, camping man. I think I'm going to take my Zippo and my little bottle of fluid, and I got to put together a little camping bag of camping gear, and then put together a little personal bag, you know. I'll probably actually wear shorts. It's been a while since I've worn shorts. My legs, maybe not, my legs have gotten so skinny. I have turned into a toothpick. I look like a marshmallow with a couple of toothpicks. That's me. That's me. That's me. Yeah. Well, I hope Joey's okay. I hope he's asleep. My goodness. He's been working a lot lately, so maybe he just came home and went. That would be good. He better not still be at work. The 16-hour days, because if he's going to go on vacation, what they're going to do is they're going to run him ragged right before they let him go, right? Well, you got to get all this other stuff done before you go. You got to put in a little extra time before you go, right? That's when you start thinking about a different company or a different job, you know, a different job altogether. Really, use the job that you have as proof that you can bust your ass and do what you got to do, but find a different job. You know, kind of. I feel like a dad when I talk like this, but it comes from experience and it comes from the heart. You know, Save yourself before it's too late. Even if the money's good, it still doesn't compete with what it does to you physically and mentally. After a while, you're just broken. You have no desire to do anything, to take care of yourself, to enjoy your time and your money off. No, you get stuck in that cycle of working your ass off and then being convinced that you need to spend all of this money to exist. So you got money in and money out, and you never get anywhere. You just stay in the same cycle, and the best thing to do is to find a way to work for yourself. In other words, do something that you love, and take that money and turn it into something, whether to turn it into savings or turn it into a better way of life, turn it into a future. I know, from experience, I know. Spend more time bettering yourself than working for others. It pays off. Even if you're poor for a while you're worrying about yourself, you make yourself a better person, and people want that better person, and then you're worth more. So there you go. There you have it. I think it's time for a trim. I don't know if I want to go out to one of these local beard barbers and get butchered, or if I just want to butcher myself in the mirror. Probably the latter. I'll probably just blow dry everything out really big and poofy, and then just start sculpting, and keep blowing it and brushing it out and sculpt it until I get a nice big fat Grizzly Adams going. Something with kind of a round shape. I like a round shape, nothing long and skinny, nothing too big and poofy. Kind of like a munchichi, Like an Ewok. There you go. Like a big Ewok. Totally, man. All right, it's just about 6:30 in the a.m. Got about a half an hour left. Phil Donahue on the cover of this week's TV Guide. May 27th to June 2nd. This is back when Bell System, pretty much had a monopoly on telephones. In each area that you lived in, there was usually one telephone system that you were allowed to get your stuff through. So and you couldn't just go to a supermarket or a department store and buy a telephone. You had to buy the telephone through them, and it was very expensive. You usually made monthly payments on the phone that you were renting from them, right? And that would be something like this. Something like this right here would cost you a few dollars a month to use their phone. And they would charge you exorbitant amounts. The first minute 10 miles away is 19 cents a minute, and then 9 cents a minute after that. Wow. Operator assisted. Oh, and that's during the weekday. During the evening, it's 12 cents and 6 cents. During the night, late night, it's even cheaper, right? But if you were on the other side of the, country, during the weekday, the most expensive rates are 54 cents for the first minute and 38 cents for each additional minute. That's expensive. That's like when cell phones first came out, and they were like dollars and dollars for each minute. That's crazy. Station to station, full rate all days, all hours, operator assisted, $2.25 for 3,000 miles away for the first 3 minutes. It's just crazy. I mean, the rates are just outrageous. The outrageousness of it all. So let's see. Today is Wednesday. So let me find Wednesday, and let's take a look at at 3 in the afternoon, after school special. A new boy in town gets off on the wrong foot with the horrible honchos, a gang of kids who decide to make him sorry that he ever moved into the neighborhood. Hollis is played by Christian Jutner. We also have Kim Richards as Minnow, Tara Talby, Christopher Malachy, Billy J. Jacoby, Pat Delaney as Hollis's mother. Hollis's father is Lawrence Hayden. And there you go. And it's on again at 4. So there you go. Wednesday, I think, gets the day for after-school specials. I reckon. So, of course, we have the usual news crap that we've been hearing about all week. And at 8 o'clock, 8 is enough. Susan's beau is spending his evenings on his doctoral dissertation. Susan and Tom are jealous. Oh. The boyfriend is working with Abby. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Who gives a shit? I just recently saw all the episodes of, last year, a couple of years back. I saw all the episodes of 8 is Enough. Good show. Not how I remember it, but it's a good show. Grizzly Adams, also at 8. Adams has to prove Ben's innocent after the bear is falsely accused of stealing an Indian chief's catch of fish. Wow. Don Shanks plays Nakoma, the Native American on the show. Also at 8, Incredible Hulk. David gets on the bad side of a waterfront labor leader ruthlessly intent on winning a union election. Wow. At 8 as well, Nova, the insect alternative. How farmers are dealing with insects, pesticides, yada, yada, yada. Carol Burnett and Friends, comedy sketch show. World Cup soccer preview. Yeah. There you go. And America Tonight at 8:30. At 9, Starsky and Hutch. There you go. It's a repeat. They investigate the deaths of a wealthy recluse's business associate at a tropical swingers hotel. Oh, they must have to dress up like swingers, right? They're gonna go undercover. Also at 9, Romance and the Supernatural. Death Moon. TV movie. Bunch of people in it. Theater in America. And also at 9, A Girl Named Sooner, 1975 movie about an illiterate backwards 8-year-old to a comfortable foster home in the 1930s. Richard Crenna, Lee Remick, Susan Deere. Never heard of it. At 10, Dean Martin. Betty White is roasted by her husband, Alan Ludden. That sounds... For then, it was probably pretty outrageous, but nowadays it sounds pretty tame. Pretty tame. Love American Style, Nipsey Russell. Not Nipsey Hussle. Where do you think he stole his name from? Nipsey Russell. 11:30, police story. Johnny Carson with Tony Randall. Hawaii 5-0. And then Into the Night, Mystery of the Week, and Kojak. Tomorrow with Tom Snyder, Gary Owens, and Joe Franklin. There you go. And that does it until tomorrow, when we'll look at some more TV Guide from 1978. And then next week, I'm going to pull out another one. Who knows what year, 76, 77, 70, 80-something maybe. We'll see. We shall see, people. Give it another few minutes, and I'll go in and see if the missus needs to be awakened. What do we got going on? Tomorrow should be quite fun. Let me put my telephone away here. That's neat. I like props. Let me know if you want the telephone. I have another one. I could part with this one. But let me know. I'll clean it up. They actually work. You can actually wire it into your modem at home and have it turned on as a landline. And then you can actually answer it. You can't dial from it if it's a rotary dial. If it's a push button, you can dial from it. But if it's a rotary, the digital signal will not understand what the hell you're doing. So, but I think it's really cool because, I mean, crap, I have one that's a push button that I can actually dial from. I think it's very, very cool to have a conversation on an old phone with a cord and everything. It's very retro, dude. Very, very retro. My dog back here is out of the flannel, and he's kind of stretched out on his pillow, and he is lounging comfortably and beautifully, I might add. I love it when a dog is happy and comfortable and relaxed. I dislike a nervous dog. It's usually human related, the nervousness in a dog. So I don't like to have a nervous dog. I like my dogs to be relaxed. If they're relaxed and happy and content, sleepy, I'm doing a good job. They're overfed, but they're healthy and happy. I don't know how to exit the diet that they're in right now. I think we need to change, but I'm not sure how to do it. Right now we've introduced chicken and rice and vegetables, homemade. And I think what we need to do is we need to do a kibble in the morning and the chicken and rice at night, right? And give them a specific amount of kibble to get them through the day until it's dinner time, and then give them dinner time. I don't like the one meal a day thing for anybody. It just doesn't seem right. So right now the dogs kind of snack on kibble whenever they want, and then they get their chicken and rice at night. I think it's only fair that they get their kibble during the day. It's not like they overeat. Two of them only eat like once a day. Will go to the kibble and eat. And then one of them will just kind of stop by and snack all day long, right? Usually when somebody comes home, when somebody comes out of the room or wakes up or does something like that, then he'll go and he'll grab a couple of mouthfuls. And then, before he goes to bed, he likes to eat. When he gets up in the morning, he likes to eat. So I don't know how to pull back on that. Yeah, I just don't know. they eat at different times, so it's kind of hard to just throw down a little bowl of kibble for each one of them and have them sit and eat it, because they're not always hungry at this. I guess if I change things up and only feed them at certain times, that'll probably change. But I don't know, I feel like the food bully, right? I feel like the guy with the power, and I don't like that. I have to do what's right because I'm the human. But I don't want to be mean about it. And I just feel like denying them food during the day is mean. I don't know. Yeah, a few minutes away and I'll go check on the missus. See what's up. She'll probably be out here before the show is over. Opening up the kitchen. Getting the kitchen. Well, I opened the kitchen already when I made coffee, so she'll be coming in to get coffee. And then I have to make a decision on what the heck I'm going to do. I didn't get great sleep last night, so I might just eat and then get into bed and try to sleep until she gets home. And then get up and do kind of a charge. I need to go around and dust and organize all of my surfaces, because they get cluttered, because I'll walk by and set stuff down here and there and everywhere, and I got DeWalt batteries charging over there where my records and 8-tracks are. I've got a bunch of stuff disturbed over here because I've removed a bunch of stuff from there and brought it over to here so that I could have kind of a more decorated set here. And I really need to tilt that camera a little bit because it's at an angle. So when it's at an angle, everything looks crooked. So I need to tilt it a little bit and straighten that angle. And then it'll look nicer, because on camera everything is so wonky. You know. So we'll have to work on that. Totally man. Books. I think I want to get into some books next week and talk about some of my books that I have here, some books in my collection. I need to dig up my box of Robert Heinlein books, and we need to go through there. I actually need to add a few books to that collection and finish it off. I need to find another copy of Stranger in a Strange Land. I lent it to a person, a dear friend from the Renaissance Fair, that wound up being a part of my life off and on until she passed away. So I have no expectations of getting that particular book back. It wasn't a sentimental copy. The first copy that I read came from the library. So this was a copy that I had gotten so that I could at some point read it again. But I did not. So I need to get the unedited, unredacted version again. There's a little bookstore down here that is an old thrift shop bookstore, used book. It's a little one. It is a specialty store, not like the big one over there. Time to wake up the wife. So I'll probably be able to find what I want there as far as an older copy. I don't want to get a newer copy. Something from the 90s, okay? Something that's just complete, you know. That's all it needs to be, just complete. All right, I'm going to turn my mic off, and I am going to go wake up my wife. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So tomorrow. Tomorrow is typewriter day 1. Typewriter day 1. We're going to look at a couple of Smith Corona typewriters that I own and check them out. I won't be able to do too much because it'll be like, 6 in the morning. So I'll set them up here and plug them in, turn them on, and we'll type out a few things. Maybe I'll write a letter, send somebody a letter, or write out my will. My last will and testament. Yeah, last will and testicles. That's it, baby. That is it. What are we going to do? What else tomorrow? Let's see. We're going to talk about the new book that I'm going to start reading. I'm going to, over camping, I assume that I'm going to have some time to just sit at camp and relax. So I'll read a couple of chapters, probably over the camping of a new book, and we'll look at that one. And if we have time, Thursdays are guitar days. So we'll plug the guitar in and we'll hammer out a few chords and get a little bit more practice in. Hopefully at least an hour's worth of playing. That will help. And then aside from that, nothing much. On Friday, we're going to talk about me again. Me, the early years, 15 and homeless. I was a teenage runaway. Yeah. Woe is me. It was fine. It was okay. I had friends and their families to rely on because I didn't have my own family to rely on. And it's possible that we'll have an in-studio special guest. Possible. I won't guarantee that they'll be on camera, but we might have a special guest. There you go. And then, of course, be aware that Friday is Video Time Machine Day, and we are on episode 14 of Season 2. So we're getting to where we are going to pass Season 1 in episode count. I'm not sure exactly how many episodes are in episode 1. Let me go ahead and look. And I'll tell you right now, Season 1 is 15 episodes. It goes all the way from September 6th through Christmas of 24. So there you go. And I've got 3 holiday shows. I've got a Thanksgiving show, a Halloween show, and a Christmas show last season. I don't know that I'm going to make it to these next holidays, the same holidays this year. I just don't know. I'm pretty shriveled up. I'm pretty tore up, so we'll see how far I can get. I'm hoping that I am able to do enough on this channel so that I am saved for posterity, I guess. In lieu of an autobiography, this is like the closest thing I can get. So I may actually take time off from everything and just write. And just get a bunch of stuff written and done and over with, so that between the channel and whatever I write and the videos and everything together combined, you get a pretty good idea of who I am. Because at this point, that's all you can do, right? Is try to leave as much of you as possible behind. That's pretty much what I'm doing. I hear dog. I hear dog. Hey, Sammy, what's up, bud? What's going on? Let's see. We got a few minutes left. This week's Video Time Machine has got another episode of Read All About It, which is a kids show from Canada. And it's a kids newspaper, and they're like kid detectives, and they investigate these mysteries. And they're 15-minute episodes, which makes them perfect for the Video Time Machine. And then I decided to stick with the kid stuff and do a school educational film that is called Read All About It, and it's about library. I'm sorry, Check It Out is what it is, and it's about the library, and I believe it's like a musical, so that's fun. If you haven't seen it, look on my channel for Junior High School Musical. That's fun. That is really fun. Of course, another episode of Betty Boop, some more music from the 1920s and 30s. And then a look at Rick Derringer and the McCoys. And I'm hoping we don't lose anybody else this week, but if we do, we might see something for them as well. So yeah, let me do this last bong hit here. Well, it might be the last one. I don't know. What was that? What was that? Bo Derek behind me. From a past episode of Movie Monday Memories. Monday Movie Memories. MMM, as it says on my files. Tomorrow we'll have another album and another day of TV Guide. Yeah, as I said, I'm kind of out of it. My head is into camping and trying to avoid pain. And dealing with camping stuff is just at this point leading to more pain, so it's kind of hard to deal with both. So I think this morning I'm going to try to clean up a little bit in here, and then this afternoon after a nap try to do some camping gear. Maybe take the tents and the dogs down to the park and set them up and let the dogs walk around. What do you think? That'd be cool. We don't have any place here to set up a tent, unless it's in the dirt or out on the street or something, and it's like, nah, I don't want to. We go to the park and it's all grass, trees and grass. So even if we go out onto the baseball field and just set them up, air them out, spray them with Lysol, burn some incense, whatever. I think that'll work. Mainly just to see if they're still functioning. Do the zippers work? Are the screens chewed up? They got holes in them? Does something need to be repaired? Right? Sam's looking at me like, you're a kook. You're a kook, man. Yeah, man, I'm a kook. Cuckoo, cuckoo. I know it. I know it. It's just about time to go, people. Just about time to go. I made the coffee a little weak this morning, so I'm actually able to drink the whole thing here. Usually it's kind of, I'm just kind of working on it a little bit at a time. We're just moving into the 6th month of 2025. Wow. Living in a future non-paradise. Right? I guess paradise is found at a craps table in Vegas. Right? There you go. Well, thank you for joining me today and this week. And I hope you come back tomorrow and the rest of the week and next week. Tomorrow, well, Friday for sure, and the rest of the next week. Stop by, because I'm going to have special stuff going on. Special guest in the studio. My daughter's going to come, and she's going to join me for some more Minecrafting, as will probably my special guest. We will probably be doing live shows from camping. We'll be doing live shows possibly this weekend. So, yeah, stop by, check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. Wow. I can't wait. I can't wait. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say. Sam, do you have something you want to add? No? Okay. All right. Stop by tomorrow, because it'll be better tomorrow. I won't be as what do you call it? Out of it. Well, maybe it'll be worse tomorrow. Who knows? Sheesh. It could be crazy. It could be crazy. All right. Let me just boot up my. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. I have to boot up the other one. I was going to start the show again. Oh, can't do that. Okay, people. Yeah, stop by tomorrow, because tomorrow we're going to play with typewriters, and that's going to be fucking cool. All right? I won't be able to type too much, but at the very least, I'll be able to show you how it works. All right, people, you know what to do. Be kind, spread peace and love, not bullshit. Do something for yourself, but do something for somebody else too. Why? Because it makes you feel good. It makes the world a better place. Makes somebody else feel good. Smile. If you smile, you put a smile on your face and somebody else's face. Most especially out there, stay weird, because if you ain't weird, ain't nobody gonna be weird for you, people. You gotta put in the time, you gotta put in the effort. Get weird. I'm here, I'm weird, get used to it. Take care of yourselves, all right? I will see you tomorrow morning. Peace, love, and adios, people.